All right, who's ready for about a 7-minute video about Nikita Gribyankin, who, in my opinion, is the most underrated prospect for the Maple Leafs? This is going to be a straight-up Nikita Gribyankin propaganda video. I've been keeping an eye on this guy for a bit. Now, I don't want to make this channel, obviously, only about the Leafs. All 32 teams are discussed here, 100%. I love hockey in general, and I watch hockey all day and all night, but seeing that Leaf game was something else. And I'm telling you, a lot of Leaf fans that didn't know about Nikita Gribyankin are knowing now. This is the type of player that has everything that you want in a prospect. And the reason that I've been keeping such a close eye on him, mostly because, well, two things. The number one would be that when he produces very well in the KHL, like his KHL stats for how young he is are really, really, really good. That's very promising. It's somewhat the same thing if you have a player that produces in the AHL at a young age. It's generally very promising. Remember when Nylander was in the AHL and he produced at a high level? That's promising. And then as a player gets older, it's not as impressive if a player produces at lesser levels than the NHL. So his point per game stats for his age group were excellent. Plus, the fact that he was able to hold down a KHL job is pretty impressive too. Now, you could make the argument, though, that that's because coaches, for players that are going to go to the NHL, coaches in the KHL don't really like to give those players minutes a lot of the time because they're just going to go to the NHL. Like, it's just something that a lot of players just don't, or sorry, coaches in the KHL. I understand what it is because, you even see like Ivan Demidov, but they're definitely going to play Demidov because he's so good. Now, I'm not saying Gribyankin is good as Demidov. Obviously, that's not going to be true. Demidov is in a different level of his own. That guy's unbelievable. But I'm telling you, this is a guy that is going to challenge for an NHL job, and the best thing is he can play in the AHL too, right? So you're going to see him in the American Hockey League. He's going to be on the top line. I'm telling you, he's gonna play some games for the Leafs this year, and if we get some injuries, I'm telling you right now, he's the type of player that is going to force himself into the lineup. You know what I mean? He's going to force himself in the lineup. Did you see him get in that fight? And by the way, he's gotten into many, many, many different fights. Well, at least, a handful of fights in the KHL. He does not shy away from physical play at all, and that's what you love to see. And then getting the crowd hyped up, and then dabbing the fan up. That was hilarious. Like this is what we love to see. We love to see this stuff, man. I've been keeping an eye on this guy. So obviously, now I'm not saying he's on the level of an Easton Cowan. That's obviously not true. He's not that high end of a prospect. If I was to put him, though, now a lot of people might disagree with me on this. I think he's even closer to an NHL job than you think, because higher than Minton. Now here's my reasoning for this. Minton only played in juniors. Yes, he played some NHL games, but he did not show that he was ready last year. Gribyankin has already played in a pro league for a while now, right? If you can play in the KHL for this long, that proves to me that you can play, right? When you're playing in juniors, it's much more difficult for a player. He almost Gribyankin, that is, almost kind of reminds me of like a young Grabovski. I mean, Grabovski didn't really fight a lot, but he was one of these like feisty Russian guys. Actually, Grabovski's Belarusian, same thing, whatever. But obviously not the same thing. I'm not trying to insult any Belarusians in the comments. I'm just saying that, feisty Russian guy. I love guys like this. Don't care at all. Now, I will say one thing about Gribyankin. He's a tough kid. He doesn't shy away from physical play, which is good. But there is going to be a time in the National Hockey League where he fronts up to a player that is a little bit out of his league, right? In terms of physical play and fighting. And then every player gets put in their place at some point, right? It's just absolutely true. You're going to have a player that gets put in their place at some point. So I'm waiting to see that. Every kid gets smacked around a little bit in the National Hockey League. But this is a player, I'm telling you, if I could tell you to do one thing when this season starts, he's going to get sent down to the AHL. He's not going to earn an NHL job. I mean, unless there's injuries or something like that. And there would have to be a lot of injuries. I'm telling you right now, keep it on Google, Nikita Grabyankin, and keep it on Google and keep on looking at his Marlies stats. I'll bet you any money he's going to be a point per game winger for the Marlies. He is going to, or close to it, and he is going to make an impact if we have injuries. Well, when we have injuries, he is going to play for the Maple Leafs this season. By the way, Max Pacioretty looked pretty damn good. Just at some other Leafs news and notes, Max Pacioretty looked pretty good. I mean, I guess it's only one game, but he looks like he's still got it out there. He looks like he's still got it out there. So I was impressed with Max Pacioretty as well. Obviously, it was just preseason, so who really cares? But yes, I am going to leave the video there. I just wanted to go on about Nikita Grabyankin, and you know what? Drop in the comments. Did you know about Nikita Grabyankin? Did you know about him, right? Because a lot of Leaf fans, they always talk about Easton Cowan and Fraser Minton, but they never talk about this Russian kid for whatever reason. I mean, probably because he's, over the pond, right? Anyways, yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Goodbye.